All right, welcome to the Mike O'Hearn Show here on Generation Iron, and we're going to get deep into the HRT discussion. We got John Tsikouris. He is the CEO of Titan Medical, and I got to go out to Florida and sit down with him. Something that's great for everybody out there nowadays, more than your just family doctor, you get to talk to somebody about optimizing your potential, and that's somebody like John or his company. And there's a lot of companies, but I wanted to do this in person at the facility to see what separated him from other companies. And I'll tell you this, he separates himself a great deal. And I'm going to show you this firsthand. Let's get into the show. I've learned a lot over the 4 decades of health and fitness and being in the trenches with the greatest in the world. And one of those things I've learned a lot more about and how to build better muscle is nutrition and how it has changed over the decades. And that's why I have the Titan meal plan for you guys out there that are confused about nutrition. I'm going to set you straight. Get a hold of me today. The link will be in the comments down below for you guys. Everybody, get over to the Titan meal plan, and I'll see you in the Titan crew where I will fine tune any difficulties that you're having. My friend John, who is, would you say the owner, co-owner, this part of the team of the Savage Titan Medical?
So I'm the owner and CEO, the founder of Titan Medical Center. My idea, my concept. I thought we were just going to handle men at one point when we started, and so did my wife, Cherise. Cherise came up as far as when I told her about this, she was like, she's been in the medical field for so many years at that point as a nurse. And, she's like, I don't know about all this. And then when she kind of seen all the research and everything that I showed her, she's like, all right, this is going to be something that people are going to need. And of course, she's my wife. She's the other part owner of Titan Medical Center, and that's my partner. But yeah, Titan Medical Center, obviously for me, Greek, Titan, blue and white, the colors, that's where it all stemmed from. But yeah, I'm happy to be blessed to be able to do this and help a lot of people out there, including myself. That's, that's the basis too, right? You want to help yourself and make sure you're all good and everything's working properly and you're feeling good. So, I am patient zero.
Today's a big one for me too. You say me too on this because skin is such a important thing in my belief.
Yes.
You can have the greatest body, but if you have this extra skin or not quality of skin, then there's issues with that. And then connective tissue is my blessing of the Titan gods in front of us, kind of blessing me with something that has held me together for a long time. And if I can do anything to keep that healthy, then I would like to learn as much as I possibly can.
Sure. Connective tissue is key, right? All these different little things holding us together, right? And if you can injure yourself and damage yourself in these connective tissue areas as well. So, having connective tissue is key, and there's ways that you can help prevent and strengthen that connective tissue as well. Like we talked about peptides, TB500, BPC157. These are awesome because these will help with the connective tissues. If you have damaged connective tissues, this is something that can help repair those connective tissues too as well. But it's something that you really got to take focus on in your body, and obviously skin. When we talk about skin, everybody wants great skin, right? You want that skin that glows. You don't want wrinkles on your face. You don't want to look like a crocodile, alligator, right? Because you look at some of these people down here in Florida that I come across, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, man, how old are you? And they tell me, and I'm like, man, your skin, I'm like, well, it's really dry. And, I don't want to insult them, but I'm like, man, do you do anything to to help this right now, or are you just letting it go? And some don't care, right? And some just want to, go out in the sun, and they're not wearing suntan lotion, and they're not properly hydrating their skin afterwards too as well. And that's kind of where some of the damage comes along. And then on the inside, when we talk about how we wither, right? And because I always give the flower example, we grow, we bloom, we wither, and we die. So that's kind of like the cycle of flowers. So I kind of put us in that cycle. And with that, as we age, all these different things and all our different hormones start to decrease and go deficient. And then when we start talking about growth hormone levels, growth hormone starts decreasing too as well. And all these different things that start decreasing start affecting us on the outside of the body. And skin is one of those things. And you can tell on people's hands too, if they look like they're prematurely aged, those are something you need to look at. It's all about what we do too, as we're maintaining ourselves every single day by taking a shower, a bath, or whatever it may be, and the products that we're adding to our skin too as well, because these could have an effect on the way it looks and the way it ages per se, right?
Well, let me do this then. Let's jump into one aspect, and the one aspect that I hear a lot of is these guys that have the bad shoulders, the bad knees, the bad back, and they've talked about the peptides, and you just mentioned a couple of the peptides. So how would that come into play for somebody that has a bum shoulder and would like to try these peptides? And please explain those two main peptides, right?
Yeah, yes. So BPC 1500, or excuse me, BPC 157. It's more natural to the body than TB 500 is, right? In the aspect that it's isolated from our gastric juices in the body, in the stomach. That's where BPC 157 originates from. So with this, it's great for a couple different things, and this one is more site specific. So with some peptides like TB 500, it works synergistically through the body, so all the way through. You can inject in one place, and then it's going to make its way around. Where BPC 157 may do it a little bit, but it's more site specific. And
so you're saying if you have a bad shoulder, shoot it into that shoulder.
So I would say not directly into the shoulder itself, but subcutaneously closest to where the area is damaged. So, some people that have had surgeries or even road rash from motorcycle accidents have used this. And of course, you don't want to stick it directly into the surgical site or directly into the road rash. Now, that's going to hurt a lot. So if you can do it as close as possible subcutaneously, that's going to be the best aspect or way to inject usually with BPC 157. With this, it works not only on shoulders, ligaments, tendons, like we were talking about connective tissue, muscles, all these different things, even, helping the body heal, whether it be a cut or an opening or after a surgery per se. That's what BPC 157 is really good for. And TB 500 works synergistically along with it.
Before we jump on, because I think these are awesome points, because again, he's stating about if you have an injury or an owie, but he's also mentioned that if you gone through surgery and you're recovering, so you're on the mends, this is something that will help mends it along even better.
Sure. The way that these work too, just so everybody knows, is they create new blood vessels to bring blood to the area to help heal the area. That's what it does. So at that point, that's, when we sustain an injury, usually inflammation happens, blood can't get to that area as good as it should, and the healing process kind of slows down where it's thinking it's healing, right? And that's what it's wanting to do. But at that point, blood flow needs to get to the area to heal the area, and that's exactly what they do.
Again, so we're talking about guys that maybe have injuries or shoulders or operation coming back from. That's I've heard so much about, but it does open up the aspect of somebody that's just aging and says, I would like to maybe strengthen that possibly more than just my nutrition and training.
Yep. So that's a great point too, and it can be used as a preventative. So it can help with strengthening these, connective tissues that you want to not damage. And, we're not all blessed like Mike. Most of us have sustained injuries to shoulders, knees, elbows, whether you're an athlete, not an athlete, or you lift weights. I mean, I've got 2 slap tears in my shoulders right now. So at that point, I know what it can do. And I literally live on BPC 157 T500. And it's got me through so far on stage 3 slap tears. So, and I can still lift. I'm not going crazy. But at that point, a lot of people have had this damage already. And some people are on the fence if they want to have surgery. And I would say to try this first before you do surgery, because, surgery is going to have you some serious downtime as well. But if you can fix it without surgery, that is awesome, right? And it can give you a lot of relief too. Just with inflammation, taking away inflammation in the body. That's another aspect that could damage the body or slow down the healing process. So, that's another good one. It's an anti-inflammation treatment too as well for a lot of people out there that want to use it. You know, with these
How long
two,
can somebody take this? How is this something that they can take for 8 weeks and then just stop, or is this
sure.
something? Can they do
So
this yearly?
yeah, so they can do it. They can do it multiple times in a year if they want to be preventative. If they had injuries, they can use it as much as they really want to try to get past that. Usually, we say 10 to 12 weeks, you know, to see some good results and to see, you know, you moving along. You know, it's not going to repair broken bones. You know, I see people touting this thing as like the Wolverine therapy, right? And
Right,
you
right.
think
I
of
see that.
Wolverine, you know, it's like you shoot yourself, a bullet comes out. That's not going to happen.
You
So
regenerate through night, you wake up the next day. My arm
yeah,
grew back.
yeah. So I don't want to put it out there. I'm not trying to like, oh man, this almighty thing like that. But it's helped so many patients, including myself, with a lot of different aspects of injuries, and it's helped a lot of people get over not having to do surgery, which they thank me big time because they didn't want the downtime, they didn't want to pay for the surgery and all everything that comes along with that. You know, it's always a risk when you go underneath anesthesia and you might not wake up too, right? I think about that. I've had surgeries before. It's always crossing my once. You don't think it's going to happen. It probably is not going to happen, but you know, everything has risk. So the less risk that we have, the better we can keep ourselves, right? So yeah, those two therapies though, they're game changers with patients. Like I said, men or women, because I get that question a lot. If I'm a girl, can I take this? There's no hormones or anything in these products. They're just peptide therapies. So they're more natural to the body as well. I mean, peptides are amazing things, and we talk about them all the time. And the different sequences of amino acids make up these peptides. And
Right.
you know, it's great. You know, I don't know what to say about it. It's really amazing stuff.
I told you we got into it. Hey, if you have questions that were not answered today, please reach out to me, send me DMs, let me know those questions because this is only one of 3 interviews I have done with him so far. We're going to get into depth on other processes of HRT and how it can help you in other ways. So stay tuned. Again, this is the Mike O'Hearn Show on Generation Iron. Thanks for hanging out and continue to let me know who you would like me to sit down with and talk to.